I see everything in this country turning into a mass football game. I'm a Cowboys fan myself. Having been down there, gone through the place, got my picture taken with two beautiful cheerleaders. I'd like to see you guys. What really gets me more about what's going on is I pride myself in being reasonably intelligent, but I could get a more vicarious experience and having the pride to know that you're the most intelligent, both of you up here, and know how to play a good game of chess. I'd like for you to explain to me how many people it would have taken in Washington. I would have thought you guys would have known something about Obama wanting to pull this recess appointment over the 4th of July. I don't know, with the touting the bird now being dead and so forth, I don't know how many it would have taken to stay in Washington to forgive the 4th of July, to keep that in session back there. But this is what I'm talking about, a native intelligence. I think you people have got to play a new game. What you've said, both of you, it's very, very heartwarming to hear it. But what we've got to do is play to win. I'm going to get more of a vicarious experience out of thinking you're the smartest guys in the world. I don't want to see a B team any longer. I want an A+ team. I want you to play like there is no play. I don't know why we had to get rid of some of the people we've gotten rid of in the House of Representatives before to help put people together. But I know for a fact that you people can do more. But I don't know if you could have put 60 people there, or if you technically could have had 2 or 3 people to talk on the floor, if that would have kept things alive. I'd like for you to address that issue. But it would seem to me there's things like that that we people are interested in. I don't like this recess guy because he's an old person.
That's an insightful question, and the fact is, when the majority leader asks unanimous consent to adjourn, one person could. But you have to have somebody on the floor 24 hours a day to do that, and you know eventually they're going to get that window. All he needs is a few minutes to adjourn without you. And that's the frustration of being up there. You would have to do that 24 hours a day, and frankly in the Senate, I don't have enough people to stand with me if I wanted to do that. I can't stay there 24 hours a day myself, and I would need 6 or 8 people to make that work. But after November, we're going to have those 6 or 8 people. That's what's going to happen. It's a great, I hear that a lot, is Republicans aren't fighting enough. And the media is trying to say, well, why don't you work with the other side?
We don't want you to do it. Sir, if the premise that you're putting forth, and I respect what you're saying, that you're going to have more, better people come after November, I'll buy that, I pray for that, and I want that to come true. But I submit to you that you people are the last standing warriors. You're the last team. If you could not get more people to sacrifice the 4th of July, firework, bake out, whatever,
well, I'm just for clarification, we could hold it up for maybe a day, but all they have to do is get 61 people to come back and vote for adjournment. And believe me, a lot of Republicans would vote with them. So it's not that we just gave away an easy play. I don't have the numbers right now to do those kind of things. We've tried it. We've done some things. We were able to pull it off on immigration with just a few people using procedures. We've been able to delay some other things. But when all we have to do is lose 1 Republican and we're gone, it's going to change after November. I think we're going to have 5, 6, 7 new Republicans, maybe even better. And when we do that, particularly if they're the right kind, I think you're going to be a lot more satisfied with our performance. But that is an excellent question, as we probably should go down fighting more often.
Sir.
Two-parter. We have legal challenges against all the Czar system.
I think somebody's filed suits against the Czar system.
Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm not real informed about that. It's kind of a ridiculous expansion of executive power.
I didn't know if what they're doing is actually constitutional and if it was being fought on that level, and if it was, is that a real long-term process, or will it be heard shortly?
I have encouraged the lawsuits to be filed, have spoken in favor of that. It's my understanding that suits have been filed, but it's one of those long-term, ultimately some court will decide whether this is constitutional or not. And while the Senate is not a very good place, it's better, at least they have to go through confirmation. Surely some of the people who have now been appointed czars would have been rejected even by this, I'm sorry for looking at you, even by that Senate.
The second part of the question is, recently come to understand, correctly or incorrectly, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the biggest supporter politically and economically and financially of amnesty is the Chambers of Commerce. And if that's true, it seems very short-sighted on their part, just for cheap labor. But what can we do to fight that?
I don't know the truth of whether they are the biggest financial supporter, but what I've seen in my observations of this issue of amnesty, and I'm a border security person, the first thing you got to do before you can do anything else is secure the border. Nothing else makes any sense. But my impression in watching this issue is that Republicans have looked the other way from time to time because of concern about the voting blocks, the politics of this. And the business community has seen this from time to time as an opportunity for cheaper or lower wage scale. And so you just had kind of, the folks that you would expect to be with you, I don't know how active they are in opposing you, but they don't seem to be very engaged in supporting you. And those are my observations, is that there's just this sense out there that you don't want to offend a certain segment of voters in America, and there's a business community that is pleased with the opportunity to hire people and I'm not opposed to people who are here legally being hired. Sure. I live in the part of Kansas in which we have dairies and packing plants and feed yards. And sometimes Kansans disagree with this, but my sense is we have jobs in America today that no American seemingly wants to take, in large part because we've created this attitude in this country that work is not noble, and there are certain jobs that are beneath us, and we've created a welfare unemployment system that doesn't discourage people from just sitting at home. And so there are jobs that are being filled by people who come to the United States, but my point is they ought to come legally. And thank you. Sir?
Yeah, Charles.